Are you looking for a good, cheap PCP air rifle from a well-known manufacturer? Well, I think I might have the one for you. Yes, this is the ever popular BSA Ultra SE. Review coming up. Welcome everybody to another video. Catanonia here, Steve, and today, as you heard in the title, we are looking at the BSA Ultra SE. So quite a lot of you would have seen the video that I did on the Ultra MMC with the funny pumping mechanism to cock it. I'll leave a link up here if you want to check that video out. But obviously a lot of you then were saying, well, what about the new version, the SE? And this is what I've got. And of course, this being the SE has the bolt action instead of the MMC cocking mechanism on here. So what about this rifle? It's extremely popular. It's a lightweight, short, almost like a carbine type rifle, perfect for your walking around farmyards and buildings, sheds and things like that, for ratting and pigeons, you know, small quarry vermin control. Excellent rifle for that. Now this rifle, you can actually get it in 177, 2.2 and in 2.5 as well. And it is a shortish rifle, so you're not going to get massive shot counts with it. On a 177 you're getting about 40 shots on a 2.32 bar fill, and 2.2 and 2.5 50 to 60 shots again on a 2.32 bar fill. So as we say, it is a PCP air rifle, so it's a multi-shot air rifle. It comes with a magazine when you purchase the rifle. In 177 and 2.2 it's a 10-shot magazine, and it's an 8-shot magazine in the 2.5. So let's just give you some specs about this, because I know all you guys love to know how long is it and how heavy is it. So I've got them written down here. So the overall length of the rifle itself, to take a look at it here, is 32 inches. So it's a fairly short, compact rifle, and it has got a 11.8 inch barrel on here, and it's a hammer forged barrel. Obviously it's a bolt action, and the BSA, they say that this is a bullet bolt action, whatever that means. It's basically a bolt action, quite a nice bolt action actually on this. So its weight wise unscoped is 5.7 pounds, so that's not very heavy at all. It's a, you know, it's a light rifle, and it's not heavy on the arm at all. I can hold this for quite some period of time without it really sort of causing any grief on there, and it's nicely weighted, just bring to the shoulder, and it just sits there beautifully on there. So yeah, a really nice rifle. And of course it's made by BSA, so it's made in the United Kingdom, in Birmingham, and it follows all the classic BSA size of things. So what I'm going to do is just walk away through the rifle. We've got a nice rubberized butt plate on the back of that. It's non-adjustable by default. I'm sure you could fit something on there if you wanted to. The stock itself, you can get them in many variations. You can get them in olive, pretty patterns, beach, you can get them in tactical, but the stocks are all pretty much the same. As you can see, it's a nice ambidextrous stock, so it worked for you left and right handers out there as well. If we move forward a little bit, we see we've got some nice stippling going on in here. Nothing major, nothing fancy, just does the job. The actual, for your firing position, you can quite easily do a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's up to you. It's actually quite comfortable to do that. So if we move forward a little bit further, we have a fully adjustable 2-stage trigger on there. We'll just about make that out, and there's some screws underneath where you can get into it and adjust it all out of the box. It's very nice. I've not seen any problems with it. The trigger itself is a proper metal trigger, none of that plastic rubbish that you get sometimes. Move forward a little bit further, we have the bolt here, so that's your bolt action to pull it out like so, and there's your bolt action. Now of course this rifle's fully unloaded, and we'll just fire that off and listen to the report. And you can see that is fairly loud. It is fairly loud, but I'll show you something in a bit with that. So there we have bolt action on there, and moving forward, there's not really that much on this side. Up the top here, underneath here, we have the air cylinder itself. So obviously this is a PCP rifle. The best thing to do is to fill it up from a dive bottle, or if you've got the big arms, and you can spend all your time with a stirrup pump if you want. But basically, the front end of it here unscrews, and it is a standard BSA fill attachment into there. You fill it up to 232 is the recommended bar pressure, and then we can just screw the cap back on once we get the thread in, screw it back on like so. So that's the air cylinder. Then we got the barrel itself. Now the barrel itself, like we said, is a 12-inch barrel, and it comes by default with this muzzle brake on it. Now this muzzle brake does unscrew. Just unscrew it here. Nice and easy. It's just finger tight, that's it, and that's the barrel itself. Now what you'll find a lot of people will do is they'll fit aftermarket silencers onto it. So what we've actually got is Les uses what's called a Swift. And you can get this from Sandwell field spots, about 40 to 50 quid, and you can change the length of them, really good. So what I'm going to do is just going to fire it off again so you can hear it. That's fairly loud. It's about the same loudness with the muzzle brake on, doesn't make that much difference. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to screw this silencer on. So like I said, I'll leave a link to Sandwell field sports. I'm not sure if they've actually got it on the website, it's under construction at the moment, but give them a call. You'll like this. Massive difference. Absolutely massive difference, and I reckon that really sets the rifle off. It really makes it look nice. Adds a little bit of length, but looks to business like that. So anyway, so let's move along. Now underneath we have, this is different as well on the MMC. If we look, we've got a fill gauge on here to tell you exact pressure you've got there. Now this doesn't come with any Picatinny or studs or anything like that, swivel links. So Les has fitted his own onto here. So if you do want swivels on here, you will have to fit them yourself. The tactical one might come with a swivel on it. I'm not 100% sure, but just be aware of that. We've got a little bit more stippling on the front to give you a nice grip on it. So let's spin her around and look on the other side. On the other side then, what we have here is your BSA safety catch. It's your standard BSA safety catch. It's forward and backwards. You know, it's quite stiff, but it's a good safety catch, typical BSA. And then we have the magazine slots here, where we slot the magazine in. And the important part is this little trigger here, this little slider here. If we can just bring the camera in, pull that forward, pull the bolt back, and then you can then slide the magazine into there, bolt forward, push the clip forward, locks the magazine in place, and then she's ready to go. Now obviously again reloaded, and you can definitely tell the difference that that Swift silencer makes on that. On top we have your 11mm dovetail for scope attachments on there. There's a lot of adjustment space on here to put pretty much any size scope that you want on, but beware, BSA do have a different size scope rail attachments on here, so you will need to get the slightly bigger ones that will fit BSA rails. It's a bit of a pain in the backside. I wish they didn't do that. I wish they kept the standards. But overall, that is the rifle itself. It's nice and simple. There's a one screw at the bottom to take all of the stock off to get to the working parts. And like we said, it's a small, compact rifle, ideal for walking around farmyards shooting. You're not getting a massive shot count out of it at all. But it's not really designed for that. And I'm hoping, like the MMC, that this thing is super, super accurate. It's pretty much the same rifle, but now with the bolt action on it. So what we're going to do is do our usual. We'll cue some of the music. Apologies for you guys that don't like the music. I think it's fun and some people like it. But we'll do some shooting. We'll do some pellet tests with it and do our usual type of review and see what we think of it. Because I've got high expectations for this. I've really been looking forward to having a play with this rifle, especially after the MMC. So we'll come straight back after this and see what we think. Right guys, so we're outside now. We've got the BSA Ultra, and I've just got a Nico Sterling 3-12 scope on here that I've fitted on it. And what we're going to do is do some pellet testing, and I've got a selection of pellets. I've got the AA Diablo Fields, some Sovereigns, we've got some JSB Exacts, we've even got some H&M Field Target Trophies, and we've got some RWS Super Domes as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 20 shots, 2 magazines down with each pellet just to see how it, just to line the barrel out, make it nice and fair, and then we'll do some grouping with 10 shots of each of those, and we'll get to see how we get on. But first off, I'm going to show you how to load the magazines. So the magazines are the new BSA type magazines here, and we can see these, and these are the 2.2, and they've got the red bits. Now the easy way to do it is literally put the screw facing towards you like so, and literally take your pellet and just drop your pellet into the hole, just thumb it in, nice and simple, like so. So the pellet just gets thumbed in, and then turn the dial, and it will actually lock itself to where the last pellet is. So they're much better magazines. BSA did have a lot of problems. So obviously if you get one of these rifles, make sure you get the red magazines. It's easy, you just flip it in like that and you literally just thumb the pellets in, nice and easy. Really easy to do. Okay, so here we go, 10 shots, RWS Super Domes at 25 meters. Okay, so this time now H&N Field Sports. Okay, so this time it's the turn of the JSB Exacts. Okay, let's try the Sovereigns. Okay, so now it's turn of the AA Field Sports. Okay, so it's not been the ideal of conditions, so it's a little bit drizzly rain on here, but I don't think it impacted things too much. But let's get back inside and warm. Let's have a bit of a conclusion on the results of that. Hi, so we're back in here. It was cold and wet out there, but we've got some good results, I think. And I'll start posting up some of the images of the shots that we did. But it's an accurate rifle, but I did have a couple of problems. For some reason, this rifle does not like Sovereign pellets. All the other pellets, the bolt action, nice and smooth. I could just do it with my finger, nice and smooth, nice and easy. With the Sovereigns, no, they were stiff. I really had to sort of force that bolt in and fire it off, and it did show in the grouping results. So be careful if you do decide you want to put Sovereigns through. Personally, I wouldn't. I don't know, maybe the Sovereigns are just a little bit wider, and this is very sort of like, it needs to be precise for the 5.5mm 2.2 on here. I don't know, I really don't know with that, so just watch out for Sovereigns. But with the pellet results that you saw, as usual, the RWSs, I have tried my best with them, but again, you can see a couple of drop shots, 10 shots, 20% of them drop down. They are cheaper, they're about half the price of the other pellets, and I think the quality control really shows. H&Ns were pretty good with the JSB Exacts, they were pretty good as well. And we talked about the Sovereigns, and I think that's down to basically having to force the pellet into the barrel, and it's just not really happy with them. But again, I don't know what it is, and I'm not biased with this. The AA is just beautiful. You can see that grouping. That little one to the side, that was probably me, to be honest. Now, I did do those tests all as fair and square as I could. Basically, I put 20 shots through to get the barrel line to that pellet, and then I carefully selected out the tin 10 pellets to make sure that they weren't deformed. I didn't weigh them, I just took them out of the tin, checked them, and then I did the shots of there. But yes, AA Diablos work beautiful in here, JSBs work, H&Ns work quite nicely in here, RWSs, you want a cheap pellet, yeah, fine, go for it, it's up to you. Sovereigns, I would stay away with Sovereigns on here. So anyway, the rifle, what do I think about it? I think it is a really, really nice rifle. I love the looks of it. I love the weight. I can hold this rifle for endless, countless times. Unlike some other rifles, it is really, really nice. Balanced beautifully. There's nothing amazing about this rifle. Nothing. That's the whole thing. It's very understated. It's your classic air rifle look and feel. Nothing. It's got the basics. It's got your safety catch, it's got your bolt, magazine, your fill gauge, and that is it. There's nothing else going on with it. It is nice, beautiful. I like to shoot it, and it is a very pleasant surprise to see that it's just as good as the MMC video that I did before. And I think if you add a nice aftermarket silencer on it, like this Smith on here, and again I'll leave the link down below, it really sets this rifle off. It is a beautiful little rifle. I'm super impressed. I'm just having a look at my notes down here. The accuracy, yeah, I said the accuracy is great. BSA, good name. Yeah, everybody's heard of them. They make good rifles. Barrels they use are great, and this is no exception. This thing, quite happily, I was at 25 meters, all under a penny. Easy with most of the pellets, with the AAs being up on top. It's compact, it's light, it's easy to handle, and I do really like it. And yeah, you can tell I like this rifle, but there are a couple of bad sides about it, and you do need to be aware of them. Number one is it's slightly pellet fussy, so the Sovereigns, we've talked about that. Now I tried different tins, different batches of Sovereigns, and it is just the Sovereigns that it didn't like. There may be others out there, so just be careful, but you use AAs in here, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. The bolt, I find it a little bit small. I don't know, maybe it's just me and air rifles, and maybe I'm used to lever cocking, but it's a little bit small. I prefer a longer bolt on that, but don't let that put you off. That's just me on there. The shot count is low. We're only talking 50 to 60 shots in 2.2. So for backyard plinking, make sure you've got an air bottle next to you, because you are going to be filling this up a lot. But if you're using this rifle for quarrying out in farmers' fields, rattings, then that is plenty for you. Again, don't let that put you off. But if you're plinking in the backyard, you do need to dive bottle this. You're going to be filling this up quite regularly. 3 or 4 magazines, you are going to be wanting to top it up. Another bad side about this, and it's not the actual rifle itself, it's the magazine. You get one magazine with this rifle, but £45, yes, you heard that right, £45 for a replacement magazine or a spare? Come on, BSA, that is ridiculous. Now, magazines are a little bit expensive, and that's a whole different subject about air rifles and the cost of magazines, but £45? If you get one of these and you get a magazine, the chances are you're going to want a couple of spare magazines. You can add another 90 quid. Now the rifle itself is a good point I forgot. £400 to £500 depending where you buy it. Good price. But factor in additional magazines, definitely. The other one is the mounts on here. It's BSA. I think I might have said before they're 11mm mounts. They're not. They're 13mm mounts. They are bigger rail mounts than your standard air rifles, which means you've got to buy the BSA 13mm mount attachments, which is a pain in the backside if you've got multiple rifles. BSA, please, in the future, stick to the standards. I don't see any reason why you do it that way, and it is really annoying, because that's yet another additional cost that you've got to put on top of the rifle on here. And one small niggle is it is very quick to fill. It's a small tube, but very quick to fill. There's no slow fill on it, so definitely keep an eye on the pressure gauge on here when you do it. Literally, it is seconds. Switch off straight away. Don't overfill this. 232 bar. But they are small points. They are very small points. I really like this rifle. If you want a good beginner PCP air rifle, then you can't go far wrong with this at all, especially for the price point. If you want something for ratting out in the fields, around farmers' fields, pigeons, perfect, absolutely perfect. It is super accurate, and I do love it. I think it just looks the business, especially when you fit yourself a nice little silencer on the end of it like that. So that's my review. Good, cracking, standard, nothing fancy, but good and accurate air rifle. Really good price point on there. So give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down. If you felt you started liking my channel, subscribe, consider being a Patreon as well. I'll leave the links down below, and I really do hope you're enjoying the channel, and we'll see you next time on another video, and this is Kat signing out, so goodbye.